In a world fractured by the walls of racial hatred and systemic oppression, one name emerged, not just as a man, but as a global heartbeat of hope. This is the story of a shepherd boy who became a lawyer, a rebel who became a prisoner, and a prisoner who became a president. His journey began on July 18, 1918, in the tiny village of Mvezo, South Africa. His father gave him the name Rolihlahla, a Xhosa word that literally translates to the troublemaker. Born into a royal lineage, he was destined to be an advisor to kings, but fate had a much larger throne in mind for him. As a young man, Mandela moved to the heart of Johannesburg, where the vibrant colors of his homeland met a cold, gray reality. He saw the whites-only signs and the weary faces of fathers treated as second-class citizens. Mandela realized his royal blood meant nothing if his people were not free. He famously said, "I had no epiphany. It was a steady accumulation of 1,000 slights that produced in me a desire to fight." Joining the African National Congress, he found a brotherhood in the struggle. Alongside Oliver Tambo, he opened the nation's first black law firm, fighting for those who had no voice. But they soon realized the law was not a shield. It was a weapon used against them. After the 1960 Sharpeville massacre, the path of peace felt like a dead end. Mandela made a hard choice. He co-founded the Spear of the Nation. He went underground, disappearing into the shadows to organize a sabotage campaign. He became the Black Pimpernel, a master of disguise staying one step ahead of the secret police. But on a lonely road in 1962, the shadow finally met the light. Mandela was captured. He wasn't just facing a cell, he was facing the gallows. In 1963, the Rivonia trial began. Mandela stood in the dock, refusing to beg for mercy. He spoke for 4 hours, his voice steady, as he condemned the cruelty of white supremacy. He concluded with words that shook the world. "It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." The judge spared him the gallows, but sentenced him to life. The heavy metal cell door slammed shut, and he was taken to Robben Island, a place designed to erase men from memory. For nearly 3 decades, Mandela's world was a stone cell, 7 feet wide. He spent his days in the limestone quarry, the blinding white glare damaging his eyes forever. The guards tried to break his dignity, but Mandela turned the prison into a university of the struggle. He learned Afrikaans, the language of his oppressors, to understand their hearts. He missed the funerals of his mother and son, forbidden from even touching his wife, Winnie. Yet, through the bars, he remained the leader. Every letter he smuggled out became a spark for the fire of revolution. The Free Nelson Mandela movement ignited the globe. By the late 1980s, South Africa was burning. President F.W. de Klerk realized only one man could save the country. On February 11, 1990, the gates of Victor Verster prison opened, and Mandela walked out. Gray-haired, thin, but unbowed. With his wife by his side, he raised a fist in victory. He didn't come out calling for blood. He came out calling for peace. He told his followers, "If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy." In 1993, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Then came April 27, 1994, the first democratic election in South Africa's history. Mandela stood in line like everyone else, casting his first ever vote at the age of 76. He was inaugurated as the first black president, the troublemaker, now the father of the nation. He invited his former jailer to his inauguration, proving forgiveness is a more powerful weapon than any gun. In 1995, he used rugby to unite a divided nation, wearing the jersey once hated by his people. When the crowd chanted his name, a new South Africa was born. He served only 1 term, stepping down in 1999 to show that a leader serves the people, not his own ego. Even in retirement, he remained the conscience of the world. On December 5, 2013, the giant had fallen, but his light remained. Nelson Mandela taught us that it always seems impossible until it's done. His journey is over, but ours is just beginning.